on with the 90-hour build. There's still so much to do. Backplate. Let's play around with the backplate first. Everybody needs a good chisel. A good big chisel. All right then, what I have planned is fairly simple. Wow, those are shiny. So I've got a couple of brass, maybe bronze discs. What I want to do is have them inlaid halfway up the height of that recess in two places, or have them inlaid into this, which will probably be a lot easier to be frank. Yes, that. I'm going to inlay them into this and have slots in here, and then when it comes to insert the back plate, this will just slide in and be held in place like so. I will probably need a couple of neodymium magnets there and there to hold this end down. Probably, let's say, possibly, I will possibly need some magnets. Yes, I can't stop myself. I can't help it. I like overcomplicating my life. It's what it is. Okay, so that's not wide enough. All right, so what I wanted was a big disc so that I've got as much metal as possible inside the back plate, lending its strength, obviously. The problem is, I'm either going to have to cut with a flat saw across quite a considerable portion of this, or use a round cutting disc of some sort. This is a Dremel tool. And this one will not go deep enough. Or we make a custom saw. Is that overkill? No. I take it back. I take it back, there is no need. I remember stashing some, well, that's a cool custom nut. Stashing some of these, and they are slitting saw blades. They're just a little bit bigger than we need, which is great because that means that's not going to split out. So, yeah. We're on. I'm going to glue on the neck now. Just for a change of pace, you know. Okay. Stay, be safe. Now, you'll note that there is no hole there. I must not forget to do that before I do anything else. So we have a control cavity. I need to go in at that angle with a long bit. Penetrated. All right. All right, well, that's basically it. I mean, yeah. Do a little bit more sanding along the top, but that's going to be done after the glue's in. Everything looks good. Okay, so I have a radiused clamping core, and that's going to go on there. And I have a flat one, also with some cork on, that'll go behind. A couple of clamps, some glue. We're done. So stop describing it, Ben, and do it. What am I forgetting? What am I forgetting? Really, at this stage, before gluing the neck in, I would normally fine sand the entirety of just everything around the neck joint. I just can't be bothered right now. All right, glue. All right, so this is what we use at Crimson. It's fantastic stuff. This is somewhat of a seminal moment. I've lost my glue spreader. VintageToolshop.com. Check out my other company. That wasn't planned, by the way. Although that works rather well, actually. Okay, so we are... It's fairly warm right now, so this is all going to start going off relatively quickly. We're not used to this sort of weather in the UK, really. Now, if your joint is good enough, you just won't need huge amounts of pressure. And that is the case here. I'm going to put 2 clamps on it just because I can. Now, the one thing I'm slightly worried about is it pushing out of angle that way. I'm using a glue that we can warm up and remove if necessary. However, I'd rather avoid that if possible. There we go. Little clamping cord, just to bring that out. There we go. All right, we're back. The glue has dried. So that little bit just, there's an overlap of the clamping cord there. And I just wanted to pull the neck in so that it was tight up against this wall of the pocket. So that went there, and I was able to clamp. We have a guitar, everybody. Okay, so some cleaning, some figuring out what the hell's happening with this backplate, and some carving, and a lot of sanding. All right. So, backplate. Let us do this thing. All right, so here's a little trick. Well, watch this. So grab a bolt that's the same size as what you have, and it will push against the bottom of the hole and pull the thing out. Now, if the bolt isn't long enough, you can put a piece of dowel or something inside the hole, and that will just do the same thing. You could also just use the piece that you've got. The reason I'm not doing that in this case is because these are fairly tight, and I don't have anything mechanical with which to screw it. And there we go. All right, prior to sanding, I want to put in an earth hole, using it all to start the hole. And then what I've got here is a pin vise with a 1.5mm drill bit. There we go. Let's clean up some glue. I don't really like the hard edge that I've got on this veneer here. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure what I'd want to do about that. Okay, I need to sort this out. I really want to do that, but I also am running short on time, and dagnammit. What do I do? It's such a good idea. Okay, the problem is I don't have the right arbor for this slitting saw. I can't find it. I own a tool shop. I have just loads of this sort of stuff, and for some reason we just don't have the right sized arbor. I don't have the time to make one. I can't not do this. So this is the arbor that I've got. It's the wrong size, but I can sort that out. Okay, I'm going to turn this washer down to make it into an adapter. And it will then fit inside. The wrong thickness. Wait now. Well, nothing for it. A little bit more turning. Typical. Come on. Woohoo! Success. That wasn't actually as long as I thought it would take. It looks so scary. Dagnammit. Teeth in backwards. Okay, that's done. I even thought I'd thought about that. Never done this before. Success. That's pretty damn cool, isn't it? All right. Perfect. Okay, I'm going to put it into the plate first because that's the easier one to do. Unfortunately, I've carved the tops, so that's problematic, really. Yeah, and the other reason is once I've got that in there, I will be able to push this up against that, scribe the top of the line and know exactly the height it needs to be at. Okay, I'm leaving quite a lot of space at the top because I do want to do a little bit of carving. What is that going to? No, this, because that would then be weaker. All right. So I'm cutting, pulling that way, so I don't have any kickback. I do have a limit to how deep I can actually go, which isn't quite the full width of this, because there's a kick up there, or a ledge there. So I'm going to go as deep as I can, and then cut this to fit, and we'll see what happens. That's not going to move. The nut's in the center. That's moving freely, and I'm wearing protection. Let's do a test piece again quickly. It's all functioning as planned. Super glue and masking tape trick. Just so damn useful. Okay, that's pretty close. It's not exactly square. I need to raise it up a fraction. A ruler. This is scary. Okay, so I've got the, it's square. I've actually ended up with a bunch of scrapers there. Now I need to set the depth.
Wait for a bit. Just put my hands.
So, I just got off a nice bun. That's quite nice. So we have the concept works. Obviously I couldn't go as deep as these, so I'm gonna have to cut these down and all of that. But that is after. That is after the finishing. Crikey. Or is it? I cannot leave without finishing this properly. So okay, basically these discs are going to have to come out during the finishing process, so they can't be permanently installed. They will be glued into one of the two sides, or maybe one into each of them, maybe. I don't know. But I'm going to figure out just how deep they actually go and remove. I'm going to remove some material. Okay. Seems to work. I think I'm going to need, I'm fairly sure I'm going to need a single screw. So it's going to just have one screw holding it in. A magnet is just not going to cut it, and I've run out of time to do any of the other things that I thought might work. Off to the sander. So I should have done a slit all the way along really, but that would weaken it. So in order to have it as deep as possible, I need to go into the middle of where the cut was, which is there. Which means I'm going to need to I need to cut these off quite a bit shorter, really. So about there. Well, there we go. Well, there we go. It's not as sexy as I'd hoped. Even screwed down, it's not as sexy as I'd hoped. Anyway. That's quite cool. Okay, so there is a way to remove this without something to grip onto. That's a good thing. And then there is just, although obviously particularly delicate, there's another way. We'll use the screw hole. Because this is going to have a fantastically delicate, exoskeleton. Single screw, or I think we're going to go double actually. Just to make sure. Fine, disappointing, but it's okay. So, a couple of sacrificial screws, and then we will go off to do some carving. Carve the back, fine sand it, and then this instrument is done for now. All right, in this build, you have watched rather a whole lot of sanding. I'm gonna go downstairs now and use the random orbital sanders to flat sand the back. I might do a light carve. I'm probably not going to. I've been mentioning carves because there is some tear out from the planing, the planar thicknesser. But very basically, I don't really want to. The whole point of this instrument really is the instrument itself, while made out of beautiful wood, is fairly stripped back and sensible in direct contrast to the exoskeletons, of course. So anyway, I'm going to go downstairs and I'm going to put on some goggles and ear defenders and stuff, and I'm going to do a whole hell of a lot of sanding. And come back up here and do a little bit by hand, and then it's off to finish. And I'm not going to bother filming that process because, quite frankly, it's too hot and you've seen enough of it. Okay. Let's not do it that way. The extraction on that particular sander is not as effective as it should be. I've sanded this down to 180 on the random orbitals. I've got a tiny little curve in there that came from getting rid of that tear out. It's pretty, yeah, pretty even and nice. Put a bevel around the edge, a chamfer actually, and really I'm going to tidy that chamfer up by hand and get that a little bit more clean, which we're going to see in a minute, i.e. tomorrow morning. I've got to be filming the What's on the Bench video in a couple of minutes, so that's this for today. But yeah, literally there's some hand sanding and some finessing, and that's it. We're done. We're getting dents out from where I just slammed it into the one part of my bench that wasn't padded, of course. Okay. Hand sanding. Yay. Bloody hell. Do you know what would look good if we put purfling all the way around the inside? A little flared lead just there. Or not. Yes, this would have been easier if I'd done it all before doing the neck in. I just couldn't wait. Why are you even still here? Go away.